are live. Hello, hello, hello. Bonjour tout le monde, bonsoir tout le monde, depending on where you are in the world. I am MarieYolaine Toms. I am a restorer of dignity as the CEO of Community to Community and Focus Fire. And welcome to Restoring Dignity Live with C2C. So I can show you better than I can tell you who C2C is and what we do so very well. Take a look.
Community to Community's vision is development with dignity. No shame, no pity. We amplify dignity and progress led by the people of Petit Guave. In a world too often defined by headlines, something incredible is happening. Communities here don't just survive, they are working hard to thrive. Community to Community is working with the people of Petit Guave to restore vital resources. A much-needed canal is built one hand at a time. Roads are carved into a mountain with simple tools, bringing safe passage to their children and elders. This is development with dignity. And while access to continuous healthcare is saving lives, trees planted today will nourish future generations. Each person is building, planting, and teaching. We are not the heroes. You are. The person willing to support this movement and say, yes, I want to be a restorer of dignity. Join Community to Community.
This is the line that runs through us, being restorers of dignity, heeding the call to make a difference with people at the table, making decisions, and being a part of their own solutions. Often you will hear that there's so many problems in communities. I agree, but there's also the solutions are in the communities because that's where the people are. And they really do want to be active participants in the solutions of their problems. And that's something that I share with our guest today. And sometimes it's hard for us to realize when is the best time for something. We may want something to happen immediately, and it takes years to happen. And we're like wondering why. Well, that's because the time that it happens is usually the best time when we look over our lives. Our guest today I had heard of, and people were telling me to connect with, but I did not know how that was going to happen. And I remember she was at a protest at the UN on behalf of Haiti. And I was like, man, how do I connect with this person, right? Not knowing that that was a soul cry, that God was listening and orchestrating different meetings in order for us to walk and walk until we were face to face with each other, and have been so ever since. I'm a proud founding member of the Haitian Women's Collective. And it is that was the right timing to bring us together. So I'm excited to introduce Carine Jocelyn, nonprofit executive with over 25 years of experience in human services and leadership, the founder of the Haitian Women's Collective that is committed to empowering women and girls in Haiti. This is what a restorer of dignity looks like. Welcome, Carine.
I had to unmute my mic before I started talking. Thank you so much, and really how wonderful to be with you all today. But just, watching that video just is such a great testimony to the work of C2C Haiti. And so congratulations to you and the team. And Obviously, I'm really happy to be a C2C neighbor and continue to do that. I think it's maybe been a good 3 years at least, I hope. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, real happy to be here and be in conversation with you today.
Thank you. And for those who are listening and picking all of this up, so Carine said, I'm proud to be a C2C neighbor. So our C2C neighbor are monthly donors, and the amount that they choose to give is up to them. And the funds that we receive are actually very impactful on the ground. They take care of the teacher stipends, they take care of socking funds away during hurricane season. Oftentimes, our farmers lose goats, they lose property, they lose crops. So it's important for C2C to have an ongoing monthly stream of funding so that we can address some of the pertinent things that may happen that we need to have immediate attention to. So I want to take this time to say, she just said, oh, 3 years, but I want to say that thank you
You're welcome.
that
Happy to share it.
you've been a C2C neighbor for 3 years. If you were in high school, we would say you're a rising junior. So feel good about that. Next year, be a
I do.
rising senior. My nephew taught me these words.
Okay.
They were not around when I was in high school.
Mm.
So speaking of your relationship with C2C, share with the folks, how did you come to know about C2C? How did you partner with us? And more importantly, why?
Mhm. So I think for many of us, 2010 was a pivotal moment in terms of our strengthening our connection to Haiti or creating a new connection or just trying to figure out what role we can play
Mhm.
after the 2010 earthquake, which, around the world, folks responded to that. And of course, as Haitians or Haitians from the diaspora, Haitian Americans, however we title ourselves, it was like kind of a revival, if you will, moment of it's time to do something. What do I do? How do I do it? Who do I do it with? And certainly, I'm sure for many of us, our families just trying to figure out, friends and colleagues being in touch and seeing what we can do. I had been working 2, 3 years before that in establishing a health center in Port-au-Prince, and so our plan was to establish the center and in 5 years turn it over completely to local control. So this was 2008 we started, it's 2009, it's 2010, and this earthquake happened, right? And that certainly shifted our timeline. But since 2010, there was a lot going on. There were a lot of things happening, lots of meetings, which I remember seeing you at and other folks that we know at. Um, and I think part of it was that commitment, what to do, how to do it, and so forth. What emerged out of all of those meetings and calls and just so much, the few make it through the process, and C2C was one of the
Mhm.
few who had a better understanding of how international development works. I always say the problem is local and the solution is local, and the importance of local development being so important. And
Mhm.
I see how hard your team works. The work that C2C volunteers do, and all of what you all have done for this organization is quite remarkable.
Mhm.
And you understand the importance of, and I say to folks all the time, there are people in Haiti who know to do what they need to do. They know the problem, they know the solution. What has
Yep.
often happened is no one really listens to them. And folks come in and they have great ideas and thoughts, and it doesn't work out. They'll say, oh, we really want to build a school here. And the community says, no, we don't really need a school. What we really need is electricity. But they're so focused on building the school, they build the school and then there's no electricity, or the teachers don't have access, they need training, whatever that is. And
Right.
so for me, the importance of being a C2C neighbor and seeing your development and being a supporter has always been around all of what you say: development with dignity, listening to the community, supporting them as best you can, putting important systems in place as you continue to develop over time. And I've been to the mountain. I've been there. I've seen the work. I've met the wonderful, amazing, very committed people that you all work with, and I tote you as one of our partners in terms of really commitment to the community and moving forward together with the communities that you serve in Haiti.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like you would be the type of person we'd call on to be like, can you give a testimony? You know what I'm saying? And you're right. You have been on the ground. You have literally walked up the mountain and down into the valley to see
Yes,
the
ma'am.
people for yourself. Um,
Hmm.
so let's unpack that a little bit more.
Sure.
Obviously, something moved inside of you for you to even go even further into this by creating the Haitian Women's Collective. What
Hmm.
sparked that,
Hmm.
and where
Yeah,
do you see it going?
sure. So, I took a 1 year sabbatical from my position at the time and went to work in Haiti in late 2014, and spent a little bit over a year in Haiti and working with primarily sexual reproductive health care access for women and education for young people. And when I came back, first, it was a great experience, one of the important experiences, I think, that allowed me to look at how things are done in Haiti and just learn a lot that I didn't know.
Mhm,
And so when I came back in 2015, besides, kind of getting my life back together, my kids, I left my kids, don't tell anyone. They're perfectly fine. And I thought, well, what do I do with all of this? I was still connected to people. I was still traveling to Haiti. I was still being supportive to the organization that I was leading at the time, and joined the board of an organization there. But I always felt like there was more that I could do, and I didn't know what it was. But I'm a really strong believer in the power of women, and even more so when women come together. So, this idea of the Haitian Women's Collective was really about bringing Haitian women together. And the founding members are women who have started organizations, worked in Haiti, had expertise in particular areas. And we had several meetings from like 2017 to 2019, getting to know each other, sharing resources, thoughts, ideas, bumps and bruises, even. And in late 2019, I said, we need to formalize this, because oftentimes I think what happens is we do, and we keep going, and we don't realize the value of the work that we are doing. So
mhm,
C2C's work and many of the organizations that are, kind of the founding members, the amount of work is millions of dollars. It doesn't may not look like that, but if you were some of like the larger ones, if you will, it would cost millions of dollars to do the work that you are doing. But instead, you guys are using, local folks and local approaches and things like that, which is, I think, is key to the success. So for the collective, for me, it really was about knowing and having a belief as a feminist, and in the belief of women coming together and the power of sisterhood.
mhm.
And when you bring Haitian women together, come on.
That part.
There's a reason why they call us the Potomita of Haitian society, which Potomita in Creole means, I guess, kind of the middle, the foundation of our society, and we understand that. And I thought that bringing folks together is an opportunity to learn from one another, and many have great experiences of the founding partners, and you know them, from
Mhm,
public health backgrounds to professors at university, to researchers, policy people, and so on and so on.
mhm,
And so having the collective, I think, was really important to um, put value and begin to change the narrative. And I'll name Marie St. Cyr here, who is now the
mhm,
board chair of the collective.
mhm.
Um, who said we need to change the narrative about who's taking care of our people, because we've always taken care of our people. And for those of us who are children of Haitian immigrants to this country and in other countries, we've always supported and sent money and paid for school fees and home fees, and from, I like to say, from birth to death, whatever those life
Yeah.
um, experiences are, that we've always been there for our own people. And so I think the collective is a great example of that. So we
Mhm,
started with 6 founding members, and now we have 20 local partners. The majority of them are led by women and doing work across Haiti in different sectors, from education to maternal health to having a youth orchestra, which I love to talk about that in the north through the organization Don Don. But
Mhm.
really, just dynamic folks working on policy and advocating for the people of Haiti. And, I learn from partners all the time, ongoing. And I think that's what makes it really thrilling
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
important to the work that we're doing.
I agree 100%. And I'm a witness because I think I was looking for the collective, but I didn't know that that's what it was called, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And I remember specifically when I was the difference before collective and after collective. So
Yes.
before collective, I was on my own, right?
Mm,
And I did the best I could with what I had. But during collective, meeting and connecting with the women and finding out we span the entire country from the north to the south
yeah.
and in
Mhm.
between. And then I remember I was going and I was looking for a driver. I was looking for doctors. I was looking for this and bringing that to the meeting and somebody going, oh, here's my contact for this, or here's my
Yep.
contact for that. Or if you
Mhm.
need somewhere to stay in Port-au-Prince before you go into Petit Guave, you can stay here. And that makes this work way more.
Mhm.
It's never easy, but it makes it better, right?
Yep.
So that for me is worth the membership, right? Of having
100%.
access and bringing questions about
Mhm.
things, and you know that there's like 8 people. You can just be like, drop it in the chat and
Oh,
say,
yeah.
"I'm looking for this. Does
Mhm.
somebody know how?" Or, "Hey, Colleen, you're going down this month. Can you bring this? Because I know
Yes.
you're gonna be near, Petit Guave," right?
Yep.
So those are some basic supportive things.
Mhm. Mhm.
I feel that
Remember,
what
we were at a meeting once, and I was like, "Oh, I need to go home and pack because I'm leaving." And you were like, "When are you leaving?" "Oh, see you at the airport," not realizing that we were leaving on the same day. And
correct.
so, even as simple as that, it showed exactly what you said. Just being a resource to one another, because we have so much knowledge and we have so much expertise within the collective to be able to do the work and get it done.
Agreed. So
Mhm.
in that same vein, how do you see partnerships like the one between C2C and local organizations and HWC? How do you see that shaping long-term change in Haiti?
Mhm. We're going through a transformative time, I think, in Haiti. And often transformative, I see transformative as being positive. Um, it is a painful transformative time. I mean, the articles are there, the information is there about how many people have had to, who are displaced, issues around food access, and often we hear famine, we hear about insecurity, we hear about some people call them gangs, some people call them paramilitary. There are many terms, and so it is a hard time. And I don't know that I necessarily have the answers to that,
Mhm,
but I think that the more we invest in Haitian people and Haitian led organizations at the local level, the better off we are. Listen,
mhm,
Haiti is known as the land of NGOs, right? We know that international aid has a role to play, and in some ways has been helpful. But
mhm,
when we begin to think about it even deeper, now we have USAID, who is gone, and shocking to so many of us, and the important role that USAID played, but some of the challenges, right, around long-term development, around local development,
right,
around sustainability, as well as long-term impact.
right,
Um, and together with that, we are facing a country that has not had elections in 10 years, and the fragility of the government of Haiti, and our ability or challenge or inability, frankly, to move forward with a standard
mhm,
of government or public systems of how a country should be at this time in 2025. So I think there is that.
mhm,
And for me, the hope of the collective is really about kind of practicing what we're preaching, right? Our partners are all, they're in Haiti, they're doing the work in Haiti. Most of them do not get any or have received really any USAID funding. I think of 20 partners when USAID sat down and, I did a bit of a roll call, if you will, who's getting USAID money, and maybe there were three.
Hmm.
And out of the three or four, only one had a direct contract with USAID. And so when you think about that and you say, well, wow, well, how are they getting money? So for us, the collective, our role is not to provide direct services because there are more than enough qualified organizations to do so. Our role is to continue to talk about the importance of local development,
Hmm.
the important role that women play,
Hmm.
and our role in being able to support the development of these organizations during the work. So this year we're launching a formal capacity building process. And the exciting part is we're launching the first women's fund in the region. Now, I didn't know a lot about, I knew women's funds because New York Women's Foundation, I was very familiar with living in New York,
Hmm.
but didn't realize that there were none in the Caribbean region. There are women's funds all over the globe, including Latin America. So
Okay.
for us as the collective to take that on and to launch it this year, I think it is phenomenal. And I think to the credit of Haiti, that Haiti will be the first. I take that very seriously in the work and how we have gotten to this place where we're
Hmm.
saying to donors, the money has to go local. There's an issue of equity, gender, and local control of dollars and local partnerships related to how funding happens in Haiti and how philanthropy happens. So, I say the fund is kind of a shift in philanthropy as much as we can. We're a very small entity, but it's the
Hmm.
beginning of talking about where money
Absolutely.
goes, what's working and what's not working, and how we all can work in partnership to support folks.
I agree with that because I think that the other way, the charitable industrial complex model has not worked, if we're just going to be honest, right?
Yep.
I think it's time to try another way. Let's see what's the worst that can happen. The whole thing fails. Okay. But at
Right?
least put it
Yeah.
out there. Let's invest in the smaller organizations that can move about freely, that
Yes.
already have the community backing, right?
Mm.
I remember when we first started working in Tiguave, and I told someone, it was here in New York at a meeting, and they picked up their phone. They were like, "Hey, I'm standing with so and so, and they're saying that they are with C2C and they're in Tiguave. Is that true?" I was like,
Yep. That's
and the
how it
person on
was.
the other end was just like, "Oh yeah, we see them. They are on the mountain most of the time." And I'm just like, the people already know. They
Yes.
have no problems to vet
Hmm.
an organization, whether or
Yeah.
not they're doing the work on the ground or they're
Mhm.
not doing. Because whatever else you may or may not have, you have a cell phone.
You
Yes, you
that
do.
that we all do.
Right. You have a cell
Sometimes I
phone.
wonder, but yes,
Right.
we need it.
Right. And I
You
never
know,
forgot that.
yeah, and I think you bring up that point, and it's so important because I've had to do a lot of deep learning around philanthropy. I have a nonprofit background, public government background, working that space, but the philanthropy space is a little different.
How so?
It has some interesting. A lot of it is who you know, just of what you just said. Who
Mhm.
you know, who has the power, who has the money. One of our friends, we were just in conversation and she said, "Wait, what do you do?" I didn't even really know very much about them. I was at an event and she said, "This is amazing. So how do you bring them together and how are they doing the work?" Well, they live there. People think because everything that's going on in Haiti, things have stopped. No, people are still living their lives. There is continued need and more need, even more so. And
Mhm.
with not having, say, a USAID, these local organizations need even more support because everyone is kind of coming to them more. You
Correct.
know more about more problems. New things are coming up, as I'm sure happens with all of you. And so this idea of a shift in philanthropy, it's also for us as the collective, we want our partners to better understand why they're getting money, why they're not getting money, what the ecosystem is really like.
Yep.
I have learned, which players have been in the game a long time. A lot of the power dynamics of who holds money and who gets it and why they don't get it. And I think what you all have done really well with C2C is continue to put your information out there, continue to engage, continue to talk, continue to share. Obviously, social media, your newsletter, your emails, those things are really important because funders, they want to know. They
Right.
want to be sure that you're actually doing the work in Haiti because historically some folks have had really bad experiences. They
Right.
really want to know, are they really trustworthy? And our approach to philanthropy as we launch this fund is we know our partners. We've been working with them for the past 3 years. We know where they're located. We know their areas of expertise. We know
Correct.
their challenges, all of that. And so people are looking at that, individuals who want to give, which I think you all do a great job with that, C2C neighbors, all of that. But donors also want to see, and they want to see more so your impact. You mentioned charity, but what is the short term or long term impact that your organization has had? To be able to speak to that is where you guys are winning for sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I will tell you the truth is it is trial by error, right?
Yeah,
In the last
it's
15
tough.
years of learning. I think we're in the
Mhm.
best place we've ever been right now, right?
That's great.
Because we're taking all of the 15 years of trial by error and the mistakes we've made and the successes we've had, and it's
Sure.
like we're fine tuning it now, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So we are now really starting to attract folks who are, as they would say in marketing, are avatars, right? Folks who
Yes.
are generous in heart and are looking for a place that they can put their gifts, talents, and abilities, their time, talent, and treasure for a return, right?
Perfect.
Right?
Yes.
So that you think about when someone's like, well, where is my donation going to go to? Well, as a philanthropic investor, which is
Right.
what I say,
Mhm.
right? That your investment as a C2C neighbor over the year is going to result in 300 educated students, right? Your investment over the year is going to
Perfect.
result in 14,000 trees being planted, right? And that we are fully transparent. When we say we need X for Y, you will see the video, you will see the pictures, you will see
Right.
it. So you
Mhm.
will know that it actually, the thing we said we were asking for support for, it actually happened.
It's
Much
going
like
to happen.
doing with the our third annual Carine Jocelyn Golf Classic
Yes.
happening next month on September 18th. The
Mhm.
funds we've been raising to create this health and wellness center that will
Yes.
have a maternity ward in it, that will be able to serve the seniors, that will be able to serve the youth
Amazing.
as well as having a small business development center in it, right?
Mhm.
I loved what you said earlier about the
Yes.
health center you started, which is, hey, we're here for 5 years, and then we turn it over,
Yeah,
right?
because y'all got this.
Yeah, right. So it's like
Yeah.
we've been doing it since 2017, and then after COVID, we weren't even able to go down, but the services continued because the
Yeah.
people were at the table from the beginning.
Mhm.
It was their
Yeah.
idea. We
That's
literally just
right.
came alongside,
Mhm.
of them. So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
I really appreciate, you saying that, and you said a lot of things that were inspiring. As we look towards 2025 coming to an end in 2026 around the corner, what opportunities or initiatives are you most excited about that you see either that you're working on or that
Mhm.
you see coming down the pike that make you inspired?
Mhm. My inspiration is based, I think, in the Haitian people. That's what grounds me. So when we talk about this idea of development with dignity is so important. I always talk about and say that at this time, the people of Haiti deserve access to clean water, as do other places around the world, right? That women should not be dying in childbirth at the rate that they are dying in Haiti, or
Yeah,
that babies don't live past the 1 year mark. We have a population of, I think it's 12 million, 10 to 12 million, the largest population in the Caribbean. More money of more international development money goes to Haiti than all of the other Caribbean countries combined. So when I'm in places like Barbados or Antigua and all of these other places, and colleagues there are talking, I'll tell you that they are supporters of Haiti. They want to see
Mhm.
Haiti do better. They are champions of Haiti. They will tell me more about Haiti's history than than I know, and
Yeah.
frame it in the understanding of issues around race and white supremacy and power, quite frankly. And so,
Yeah.
we can't do the work alone, right? C2C can't do this work alone. You have great volunteers, you have your C2C neighbors to be able to do this. So that really continues to inspire me. I think with the loss of USAID, I hope that this brings opportunities for different conversations around local international development. And I hope that those who support, either from the Haitian diaspora or globally, see and understand the value of local development. Shirley Chisholm says, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a chair. And I've had to bring chairs to certain spaces, right, and talk about things that often folks may not necessarily feel comfortable about around development. So those things kind of excite me. The fact that obviously we're launching this fund and we'll be able to now raise money to give money to
Right.
organizations. So
Right.
that's really good. So a lot of when we're raising money to be able to give money too, right?
Yeah.
And to support and strengthen organizations, build their capacity to be able to continue to do the great work that they're doing. That excites me. And I think for our organizations too, um, impact is the word of the day. Social impact, long-term sustainability, financing is something I hear a lot about also.
Yep.
People want to see, as you mentioned, okay, 5 years ago, they said they were going to build a school. Where are we now? They want to see those updates,
Yep.
right? It encourages them to give. They had a continuous care initiative, and I remember that, right? Where is that initiative 3 years later? Have
Yep.
they made any progress? And how much more money do they need? So you got to ask. Listen, you can't be shy to ask for money. You got to ask for money because we need money.
Okay.
Sadly, there will always be poverty, but there'll always be a lot of people with a lot of money too, who are looking for opportunities of where to give their money. And why not C2C or HWC partners?
Yep.
So I say to people, whatever you're looking to support in Haiti, let me know. I got you. You want to do
Um,
education? I know the people. You want to do maternal health? I know the people. You want to do farming, women, agricultural projects? You've met so many of our partners, right?
yep.
Who are doing great work. But because many of our partners are small, right? They can't do the great website or their social media. But unfortunately that counts and it matters. So
Mhm.
having people who are volunteers is something that we've been talking about internally from the Haitian diaspora. Who is the person that can partner with this organization to take care of their website for them, or help them with social media,
Correct.
or help them put a budget together,
Correct.
and meet with them monthly to help them track their budget, and help them along in developing that skill. So I think there are many wonderful things that can continue to happen
Mhm.
with the support of local organizations and frankly, investing. Organizations need money in order to operate, bottom line.
Period. Period. You've
Mhm.
spoken a right, as they say.
Yes.
So I'll close with this.
Hmm.
In I believe it's in the Japanese language, there is the word for crisis is danger and opportunity,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? And we are in danger. We
Yes,
just need to say it because
we
it
are.
is the truth, right? But this crisis that we are in is also an amazing opportunity, right? I
Yes.
believe that there are going to be not just diaspora and nonprofits rising up, but I believe there's hearts of generosity that are going to rise up too, to see this as an opportunity of investment, to think about funding in a non-traditional, and I will say disruptive way,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
is breaking the mold and
Mm-hmm.
doing it in a whole new way. And us as the folks in CEOs of nonprofits, we've got to start thinking outside of the box, right? The
It's the only
basic
way.
proposal writing, blah, 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 the waiting for the money, whatever. We've got to really start thinking like business people. We've got to start
100%.
thinking like investors. We've got to
Yes.
start thinking about the word, as you said, finance, right? How do we
Yes.
finance something
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
instead of just and no shade to the bake sales, right?
Of
Instead of
course.
just doing what people usually do, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, if you have audacious goals, then you need
Yes.
to engage in audacity.
100%. I
You
love
have,
that.
you have
I
to
need
do
to,
that.
that's a MarieYolaine line. Let me write that.
If you have
Listen, I'm paying
audacious,
attention. Come
yes,
on.
if you have
You got to learn
audacious
all the
goals,
time. Hmm.
if you have audacious goals, then you need to engage in acts of audacity. You have to do
100%.
something that God and people will look at you and go, you had the audacity to make
Oh,
that
yeah.
prayer? You had the audacity to ask for that amount? Yes,
Yes.
yes,
You have
I
the
do.
audacity to start this fund. Well, how much money are you going to have? And how are you going to be able to do this? And well, we have other funds and we don't need more donors and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, when we look at the amount of money that has gone into Haiti, I'd like you to tell me a little bit more about how you see that long-term impact and sustainability has worked.
Correct.
Where are we
Right.
at?
And
And not to take
whereas
away.
we can say,
Yeah.
here are our receipts, quick, fast, and
100%.
we can give you a number. Okay. I could talk
Yes.
to you all day,
Yes.
as you know, because we're capable of that. So
Yes.
um, I want to say thank you so much. I want to invite you back right now. Is that okay?
Okay.
No, go ahead and do that. Okay. So knowing you, kind of mess around and be like, join us for our 10-part series. Yeah,
In January
in
or
January.
December, because
Yeah,
calendars are a little bit crazy. But
we have
listen, thank you. I love C2C. I love the partner organizations of the collective. I hear from them. We talk. We have a team in Haiti now who are dynamic. We have a co-working space for our partners. But the development with dignity and care and kindness of with the understanding that people are people everywhere. And I say, wherever I am on international stages, I say, women are women everywhere. So I work
exactly
in Brooklyn. The maternal health issues in Brooklyn are pretty bad. The maternal health issues in
yeah,
Haiti are pretty bad. You know what
correct,
I mean?
correct. And
So
as
I, continue to applaud you all
thank
for the
you.
work that you do. I'm always going to be a supporter, have, a hand and amplifying and talking about you all. And because you are committed and you understand the importance of all of this. And, I would say also that we are in August, so end of year planning for giving is important.
Yep.
And one of the things my development person said to me yesterday, which I challenge you all, and I know you've done well,
Mhm.
is corporate matches. That every year, corporate matching, it goes to waste. Companies are not using them. People that work there don't know about them, and so forth. So I share that with you in the hopes that you all will focus on that and present that as opportunities to bring in more money for the great work that you're doing.
That was a great plug, and we receive it. Carine
Yes,
Jocelyn, thank you for being on Restoring Dignity Live with C2C. We look forward to having you return
of
and to
course.
continue this conversation of restoring dignity to our country and arguably ourselves. Thank you for being with
Mm,
us today.
you're welcome. All the best to you guys. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. We'll see you again next time. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.